I can't believe it. It's election day in Alberta. You'd think Rachel Notley would have better things to do, but she's still trying to get her vengeance on the rebel. Voters are going to throw Notley and her NDP destroyers out of office today, but Notley's hand-picked election staff have just filed a flurry of new complaints against us at the Rebel and against me personally. I'm holding them in my hands right now. It's so bizarre. None of it makes sense. It's also obviously illegal, but they're doing it anyways. And here's the thing. Unlike Notley, they're permanent bureaucrats. So until Jason Kenney actually fires them, they will still be working away within the government of Alberta even after today's election. It's so bizarre. Let me give you just one quick example. I mean, they've been peppering us with crazy letters, but I'm going to show you just one, okay? Remember back in January I showed you this letter from Notley's hand-picked elections commissioner, a highly partisan activist named Lauren Gibson. He put us at the Rebel on trial without even letting us know. He convicted us in secret and told us about it afterwards in this letter. But look at that first sentence there back in January. I write in relation to an investigation undertaken by my office regarding a complaint from Elections Alberta. So Elections Alberta are the folks who run the elections, and this guy, the elections commissioner, is the guy who just convicted us in a secret trial. And they were talking about this billboard that we had put up last year. Well, as you might remember, we asked for a copy of the complaint that we were convicted for, and we still haven't received it. So that was back in January, right? Well, look what I got in the mail. Now, it's dated March 18th, but obviously that was backdated since I didn't receive it till just a few days ago, about that billboard that we had up last year, that the elections commissioner said this complaint was the basis for their secret trial in January. But I just got this. I just got it now. So how can you file a complaint after a trial is over? When the trial was supposed to be based on this. And why did the elections commissioner, I showed you, he said he had this complaint back then. He was lying. What's going on over there? You don't convict someone and then file the complaint about them. But what happened right before the letter was sent? Oh, nothing. Just Sheila Gunn Reid's new book called Stop Notley was released on Amazon and became an instant national bestseller. Funny how the timing works. Right after that is when this letter was sent. And remember when Cian Bexty, our reporter in Calgary, accosted a communist candidate for Notley's NDP named Anne McGrath? She called the actual police, 911 call. Remember this?
Has any other media organization asked?
Call the police.
Okay, we're in public, so I'm allowed to ask you these questions.
No, you're not.
Now, the police came and told Cian he was doing absolutely nothing wrong, of course.
Based on even the information that she's told us, there's nothing criminal.
But right on film, the point is the NDP were not shy about using actual police to crack down on journalistic criticism from the Rebel. Well, obviously we kept going. It's what we do. We're a free country. We handed out 5,000 Stop Notley lawn signs to promote Sheila's best-selling book. People love the lawn signs, people love the book, but then we started getting reports from people around the province that the RCMP, that the Mounties were picking up signs and collecting them. Is that what the RCMP do? Now, maybe a city bylaw officer, if it's somewhere it shouldn't be, I could understand, maybe. Sure seems like there are a lot of other lawn signs all over public property, but the RCMP, actual police, well, if they're political, they do. If they get calls from high-ranking NDP candidates like Anne McGrath did right on tape, they do. And wouldn't you know it, I actually received this email more than a couple weeks ago from a police officer in Grand Prairie threatening me with fines of up to $10,000 if he sees our signs on public property. By the way, we haven't put up any signs on public property. We don't put up our own signs. We give our signs to Alberta voters. They do with them what they want. But you see the NDP is in a full court press against the Rebel. You see that? Weird complaints, secret trials, illegally backdating letters by months, forgetting to send letters, lying about things, calling 911, having actual Mounties put aside real crimes to take down lawn signs, having other cops threaten us by email with $10,000 fines. Oh, I forgot, I didn't tell you. I just got another, this one. complaint for another billboard that we did months ago, the Fire Phillips billboard. That's long gone, but we got this at the same time. Let me show you the weirdest part of this. I told you we're challenging the constitutionality of these censorship laws in court. So Rachel Notley has ordered the Justice Department to defend the law against our challenge. Now, there are hundreds of lawyers who work at the Alberta Department of Justice. And who did she choose? She chose this guy, Don Padgett. He's a lawyer for Alberta Justice, but he's a perennial left-wing political candidate for public office. And he always loses, but they keep taking him back at the Justice Department. He runs, loses, they take him back. He runs, loses, they take him back. Now, a lawyer just takes instructions. He might not even believe what he's been instructed to do. His loyalty is to his client. In this case, Rachel Notley's the client, but we know Padgett believes it because he's a left-wing extremist. He's a crank. He actually gets only a few dozen votes every time, and then he goes back to work for the Alberta government. But on Twitter, he's obsessed with me and the Rebel. And he gets really weird and personal about it. Here's a tweet where some leftist agitator had just made a Holocaust joke. God, they're so obsessed with the Holocaust. And Padgett jumps in and somehow links the Rebel to that. Look, I'm not obsessed by the Holocaust. I mean, I talk about it once in a while. I mean, I know the Holocaust is a fact. I'm Jewish. I care about it. But why is he retweeting someone trivializing the Holocaust and then linking it to me and the Rebel? That's weird. And then look at this one. Ezra sells out. Lugenpants Reich-sizing. Reich-sizing, that's the third Reich. That's why are you using Nazi language about me? I'm a Jew. Reich-sizing? I'm not going to click on that link because it's a page that doxed me. You know what that means? It revealed my home address and details about my family that I keep private for safety reasons. Now, I had a lawyer contact that website and have them take down my family's information for their protection. But why is Rachel Notley's lawyer at Alberta Justice making Nazi jokes and Holocaust jokes and linking to a page that gives personal details about my family? My family aren't involved in any of this. Why is he doing that? Why is he promoting a website that doxes my family? I just don't get it. Other than one thing. Rachel Notley hates the Rebel very, very much. Years ago, she first sent a sheriff to stop Sheila Gunn-Reid from even entering the legislature, and she's thrown everything she can at us but the kitchen sink. We beat her back every time, and tonight, she's going to be thrown out of office, finally. So now she just doesn't even care anymore. I mean, they're literally calling 911 on us. They're literally having policemen email us with threats of $10,000 fine. When was the last time a cop emailed you to say you might be fined 10 grand for having a lawn sign? A cop. They're sending weirdo lawyers after us who make strange Holocaust jokes again and again, specifically about me. What's that got to do with anything anyways? What's that got to do with the constitutionality of the censorship law? Why are you bringing in the Holocaust? And now they're coming with new election complaints that don't even make sense and that must be dated falsely. How could it be? Seriously, a complaint received in April, dated in March, about a secret trial that was concluded in January. I mean, it's one thing to be a bully. It's another thing to just be stupid. But look, stupid or not, we've spent about 20 grand fighting back against Notley, and it's only going to get worse now. That's 20 grand that we can't spend on more reporters, which is, I think, exactly why Notley is doing this. It's lawfare. Can you please help me out, at least until Jason Kenney can get into power and root out these Notley zombies in the bureaucracy who are going to keep fighting for her like the undead? Seriously. Can you go with standwiththerebel.com, standwiththerebel.com, and please chip in. I got to pay the lawyers to fight this crap. I really thought Notley and Elections Alberta would have something better to do literally on election day, but I was wrong. Attacking the Rebel is their #1 priority. It's their hottest obsession. Please visit standwiththerebel.com to help even the odds and help me beat back Notley's undead zombies. Thanks. Look, these guys won't stop, and it's not just Notley, it's her bureaucrats who are still in power. Please go to standwiththerebel.com to help fight back.